For years, Eastonmade has been the benchmark for quality, power and innovation in the world of wood splitters, setting the gold standard in North America. And now they've finally made their way across the Atlantic to the UK. In this video, I catch up with Andrew, the man behind the machines, to dive deep into how Eastonmade went from a small operation in Canada to a titan in the industry. We'll uncover the craftsmanship and passion that goes into building these incredible wood splitters, and what makes them the go-to choice for homeowners and professionals in North America, and why Andrew believes the UK market is ready for the Eastonmade revolution. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just passionate about the world of wood and fire, this is an interview you wouldn't want to miss. Get ready for an in-depth look at the history of these machines and the man who's bringing North America's most trusted splitters to British soil. Well, I'm with Andrew from Eastonmade, all the way from Canada. So tell us about your machines.
Well, Eastonmade, I started Eastonmade about 10 years ago in my basement garage, and it's grown into this. We're overseas here. Ian Gregory from Logs and Saws has been a great ambassador for us. He's been importing Eastonmade into the UK for about 2.5, 3 years now, and we're starting to get quite a few machines over into the UK, and it's been an interesting day here today. Today's the Friday of this show, and we've met a lot of really fantastic, wonderful people here. We've been having a blast here, and it's been kind of a neat show to come to for us, because the cultures and the people are so different, but they're so much the same. It's been a blast, and we have a pretty good spread of machines here too. We have everything right from our small Ultra all the way up to our big 37D, and Ian's got one of these DSC 10 disc screeners behind us for cleaning the firewood before it goes into a trailer. So it's been a pretty good turnout for us.
So what made you make the transition from, let's say, homeland America as well, all the way over to the UK? What made you make that?
I would have never thought there was a firewood market here at all. Like from being a Canadian guy, he's like, in Canada there's a huge forest cover. There's forest everywhere, and over here we never think of it like that in North America. But Ian had called me up about 3.5, 4 years ago, and he said, "Andrew, do you mind if I buy a wood splitter off?" He said, "Sure. You look. I'll throw it in a container. You look after getting it there." And he said, "All right." So we shipped Ian a machine, and he got it. He's like, "This thing's amazing. Like, this is the most incredible wood splitter I've ever laid my eyes on."
I agree.
And he said, "Do you mind if I try and sell them for you?" I said, "Sure. I'll throw whatever in a container you need or whatever. You get them into the country and sell them. I'm more than happy to send machines to you if you want to try and resell them." And so far, he's been having tremendous luck with it. And again, we never thought there'd be that much of a market. But that's kind of how we ended up coming into the UK. As Ian was the first English guy to buy our machine and want to promote it in such a way.
So I think he's done a terrific job. I remember when you were back on social media, you were spreading out. I used to love the machine. I didn't even know it was available in the UK till, I'd say, a few months ago. Yeah. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant idea, because I do believe that there isn't anything on the market that is like this. I think there's processors, there's all sorts of big kit, but for a log splitter, I think this is one of the most perfect log splitters I've found. That's a manual hydraulic lever. Yeah,
and it's kind of a fun thing coming over here and seeing all the variety that you guys have, because it's a lot like the American market was 9.5, 10 years ago when I started. Okay. There was really big machines, there were smaller ones, and a couple of in between, like semi-commercial machines, but nothing that was really, really good. And coming here, it seems like it's the same sort of position 10 years ago that the American market was in, that we're in a position where we can deliver a really good commercial grade, more or less basic log splitter that's going to last. And
because I've noticed from bits of research I've done, people I speak to overseas, that in certain parts of the US and Canada, a lot of homeowners will run these for themselves as well.
A lot. We find it now that it in overseas in Canada, US, it's all like a zero-turn lawnmower, right? Like I don't know if you guys get them a lot over here, but like you can buy like a standard rider for cutting a little bit of grass, but somebody wants to cut grass buys a good zero-turn. So it's we find it's a lot like that, and again, we've had tremendous luck and tremendous support here. Even talking to people, this has been a really humbling experience for us.
Do you think you'll come back again in 2 years' time?
Oh, I would absolutely love to. Yeah, it's we might even expand from here. I'm not quite sure. So it's been a blast. Yeah.
Because I must say they're well made, very thick steel. I don't think I've seen anything like that on the market. As well built as it is, I think it is a very good commercial splitter. I think the UK commercial market needs to see more of it.
Yeah, and I think the big market over here is a lot like it is in North America, where like these are really good machines. Like if you're an arborist, if you're a tree surgeon, get a lot of that kind of waste. These machines are absolutely perfect because it's strong enough that you can put anybody on it. They're not going to bust it or break it, and they perform at a level at which it makes it productive and profitable to use it.
So let's talk about your expansion from being, I don't know, when you first started out, your history behind the business, to all the way to this point where you've developed, well, you've overdeveloped and keep developing a really good product. So what's the timeline there?
We've been about 10 years now. And Groundhog Day 2025 would be 10 years. That was the first day that we delivered the first Eastonmade. And when I originally started doing this, I started just in my little basement garage, like a 24 by 24 basement garage. And I figured if I did like 9 or 10 a year, I'd have beer and money and be able to support my family. And we did like 35 the first year. And the second year we did like 100, then 200. And we're building about 800 units a year now of the commercial splitters. We do probably a normal year for firewood process. This year it's down normally 45 or 50 big processors.
Is it still all in house or?
Yeah, we do everything in house. So like I moved from my house that I had the basement garage in. I bought my dad's house. He was a logging contractor, and he had just built the big house. So I ended up buying his house and his garage and stuff there, and moved in there for a couple of years. And then about 3.5 years ago, Dad had actually owned Bell's firewood processors too. So I bought Bell's firewood processors off of Dad, and that's how we got into the firewood processor market. And it's expanded since then. And the shop's now about 25,000 square feet. We've got about 12 acres of land there, and we're in the process of expanding the shop to maybe 50,000, 60,000 square feet.
So how many staff have you got on there? How many people work with you on these projects? Have you got a high number, or is it just a nice set for you?
We have about 50 staff members, between tradespeople, management staff, people that do normal production. We have probably we have three engineers right now. Gifted guys like Gage, John, and Greg have been awesome. They're really sharp guys. And then the whole crew there, we all have input on the machines and how they work. We all use them and operate them, and we get a lot of feedback from customers too. Like we want to make sure that we're building machines that are going to work for our customers, because just because it works good for us doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work good for somebody else's application, right?
So some of the people I've been speaking to overseas, for us, home for you, they've said that your customer service has always been second to none. You do engage with your clients, you bring things back and forth, generate new ideas, and we were talking about too just earlier. So obviously, what side of that has a big impact in your future development? Have you got things in the plan?
Yeah, there's a handful of machines that we're gonna build in the near future. Like we're like a small firewood processor is something we're working on right now. It should be done probably towards the end of this month. And again, we're just trying to hit kind of different price points and kind of fill the gaps in our product line. And we've started to do other things as well. Like we've started to do like firewood grapples, skid steer attachments, stuff like that, to kind of broaden our reach, and that's kind of where we're at with our business. Like we've got it very well structured now to the point where we're able to service customers, we're able to deliver stuff on time, and internally it's gotten a lot easier with our computer systems and how we function to develop new products and bring new products on. So in order for the business to expand, like right now we can only sell so many wood splitters into North America. The market can only absorb so much. So that's why you're seeing us come over to the UK. We're going to start branching off into Europe with our firewood line, and then at home we're going to work on other stuff too to expand it. So
so would you say overall your product line, so you just spoke about different price points of different machines, so you've got smaller machines all the way up to your big machines. In the UK, what I've noticed, the machinery available, there's not a single brand that can do a price point all the way up. Is that what you're aiming to cater to every single price point?
Probably not every price point. We're always going to be kind of more on the commercial side of it, because like we can't compete with the Chinese brands. There's no point in us trying. So we have to. We can't outprice it, but we can outbuild them and we can outservice them every day of the week consistently, right? So that's the goal with that, is to do that. And then on that note, it gives the customer a lot more value too, right? Because they're going to be buying a machine that's going to last them. And if something does go wrong, we can service them well and make sure that they're operating and running.
So how does your servicing work? Obviously you being in Canada, how do you get the servicing done in the UK? Do you go through Logs and Saws, or do you have it sent back over? How's that working at the minute?
You can kind of do it either way. Like most anything that would malfunction on the machine is a fairly easy, simple fix. And like, if you give our service department a call, we can normally get stuff overseas here to you in a couple of days at the very most. Ian stocks a little bit of stuff too, so he's a wealth of knowledge. He knows the machines inside and out too. So there's always an avenue to make sure that the customer's looked after over here.
Yeah, the Vanguard engine's a brilliant engine.
Oh yeah, and the Vanguard engine. The nice thing about the Vanguard is that the service from Vanguard is like on our end of it, and then passed on to our customer. You can go anywhere, and everywhere is certified to do Vanguard repair, Vanguard warranty. And you get a 4-year warranty with them too.
See, I bought a really good cheap Chinese machine off a company, and I only did it for the engine. Because the engines are very expensive, and it was a second-hand machine. The engine had apparently just been rebuilt under warranty and X, Y, and Z because they did some damage to the machine. And I only brought that machine for the engine, and I put it on the machine in my own. And I tell you what, they're absolutely brilliant. We have Honda. That's what I'd say is like the best one I could buy over here. But Vanguard engines, absolutely brilliant.
And it's funny you say that, because like myself, I was always a Honda guy. Like I always had Honda dirt bikes and Honda ATVs and stuff like that, and it wasn't until the Vanguard guy actually sent me an engine. I had talked to him back and forth. I never even asked for it. An engine showed up one day and he said try it, and we did, and it worked out really well. And the service that we got from him compared to our Honda distributor at home was far superior. Like the Honda guys, they didn't seem to care if we did well or we didn't do well, or if our customers looked after or not looked after. Where the Vanguard guys, like I can call Terry up on a Sunday afternoon and say, hey Terry, this guy's having an issue over here. We having a hard time sourcing parts, and he'll send them next day to make sure the customer's looked after, and that goes so far.
It pushes your business as well, because it means a lot to you, because you're building a name, a reputation, a brand. You're sending it all over the world eventually, and
it's so important, because no matter what the machine is, the engine, the manufacturer of anything, stuff's going to go wrong. It's a piece of equipment.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a service after the sale that's important. We want to make sure that our customers aren't going to be down. We want to make sure that the transactions as seamless as possible, and operating the machine is easy and it functions well for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. But it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you,
Well,
sir.
thanks a lot, Joe. I appreciate
it. I want to see you soon. I want to come over and take a look.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. We'd love to have you. Like it's, I think you'd have a blast over there.
I really look forward to it.
Cool.
Thank you
Thanks
very
a lot, Joe.
Thank you. So there you have it. It was great talking to Andrew, learning more about Eastonmade and their incredible machines. If you want to know more, get your hands on one of these machines, contact Ian Gregory from Logs and Saws. He's your go-to for anything Eastonmade here in the UK. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but most importantly, keep those fires burning.